Hey everybody, my name is Heavyn Leigh. This is gonna be my intro video to just like me and who I am and why I play music and how I started playing music. I asked a couple people on my Instagram, which I will link below. If you only follow me on YouTube, I do have an Instagram where I actually post a little more covers on there because it doesn't have to be so like professional on there. So it's a little more casual on my Instagram. But I asked a bunch of people on my story if they would rather see me like do a cover or do an intro video, and I think it was only like 1 or 2 votes less to do an intro video, and so I just decided to do both. This intro video is going to be a little casual. Don't obviously have a cute background around me. I'm in my mom car, which is good for gigging. It's not my mom's car, by the way. It's like I drive a white mom car because my mom is white and this was my mom's car. Now it's mine. Anyway, not like you care. So I'm sitting in my car. I actually have, this is my break for work. I'm a nanny. I can't really say too much about that just because, you know, it's a family. It's a whole like other family and they have nothing to do with it. I thoroughly enjoy my nannying job. I'm able to make the money I need to make and to like live on my own, and then also I get the weekends off for music. So right now it's exactly what I need. I'm very grateful for this job. I love it so much. Where do we start? I guess I'll do some fun facts. I can yodel. It's true. That's actually why some of my videos, when I sing, it sounds a little like yodeling sometimes, because my parents like redid our basement one time. I want to say I was like 11, 12, and I went downstairs and the acoustics were incredible. The world of YouTube was at my hands, and so I turned on a yodeling 101 video and I taught myself to yodel at the expense of my mother's sanity. She eventually came downstairs and told me to please stop because I had been doing it for about 3 or 4 hours straight. But I started to incorporate it into my singing to give myself like a little bit of style that not a whole lot of people have. So that's kind of like where my style started, was I thought it would be cool to yodel. What else? I have a cat, and my cat's name is Nora, and she is the light of my life. She she really got me out of my first severe depressive state. I didn't really know that I had anxiety that caused my depression until about 2 years ago. I kind of just thought it was normal, and I would kind of just brush my anxiety off as everybody has this and this is fine. Get over it, push through it, because I mean I was able to every time, and then some like actual real life stuff hit my life, and I quickly realized by going to a therapist, which if you don't have a therapist, therapy is expensive but worth it. Love my therapist. Shout out Dr. Tim, you the best. He helped me like start to cope and understand like what my depression and my anxiety does to my body and my mind and myself, so I'm able to talk myself down when I get too anxious. So he was telling me I needed something to be accountable for. So he said, you know, get an animal. And my parents already had 2 cats and 2 dogs and 2 kids living in their house, and I was 18, I wasn't gonna move out yet. So he was like, well, you need to ask them if you can get an animal. And I've always loved cats. My first tattoo was a cat. It was just a little cat face. It was like this big. I've always been like a super big cat person. And so I asked my mom and she said no. And then just because she knew my stepdad would be kind of weary about it, just because I was real like irresponsible. I was 18, so I was never home. I had just gotten like a job, like a regular steady job that I wanted to. I kept quitting my jobs because I was like, I don't like it. So I just had like a steady actual job, and they were just like, no, I don't think you're gonna take care of it. We're gonna end up taking care of it. So I kept asking and kept asking, and then I told her that Dr. Tim told me to talk to her because I needed something to be held accountable for. So then she went to my stepdad and she told him that, and they gave me, I could only get a short hair girl cat that's fixed and chipped. So I had some guidelines to go by. I went to an animal shelter and I found Nora, and she's a great cat. She's super like laid back, as most cats are. She has a great little personality, and she really truly helped me get through probably the hardest time I've had in my life yet. And I love my cat. I guess we can get to my music career. I've been singing since I was 9 years old. You can kind of go back in my YouTube. I have a different YouTube account that was actually ran by my mother before I was like kind of like old enough to run my own YouTube account. She would just upload videos, and I'm so grateful that she did. Thank you, Mom. Because without those videos, I would have like no timeline of like how old I was when I started, or like what songs I've done well, and like just my mom did so well. My mom would come to all of my performances and set up a tripod like the mom in Mean Girls and sit behind it and be like, smile and mouth the words. Sometimes in some of the videos you can hear my mom singing, but bless my mom's heart, because she had to hear me practice from such a young age. Just like, I don't think you guys understand, I have a very strong voice, so I would turn on karaoke's in my room for like 3 to 4 hours at a time and just belt as loud as I could, like no one else was in the house. I didn't care about anybody but myself in that 3 or 4 hours, and my mom would come in there after about 3 or 4 hours of me doing that and ask me to start settling down soon. So bless my parents. Thank you for letting me be creative and in my own environment, and I'm very sorry. So I was 9 when I started. I was in 4th grade, I remember, because in 3rd grade, the year before that, we had the talent show at school. And there was a girl, I don't remember who it was, but I believe I remember who it was. I think her name was Jordan, just because I have some more stories about her. She was a year older than me, I believe, or 2 years, I can't remember. And she sang I'm Walking on Sunshine when I was in 3rd grade. And I remember sitting on the floor in the gym, and they have this makeshift stage, and she's on stage singing I'm Walking on Sunshine. And I was like, I want to do that. And that was the first time I'd ever thought that. I'd never had that thought before. I'd never tried to sing before. So from that point on, that was pretty much like the turning point for me. That was the beginning. So thank you, Jordan. You inspired me as a young child. And then the next year, I'm in 4th grade next year, and the talent show's coming up, and the auditions are coming up. And so I go up to my mom, and I'm like, Mom, can I audition for the talent show? I really want to sing this song, and I think I'd be really good, and I really want to try out. My mom was like, no. I think you should wait till 5th grade, Heaven. And my mom was by no means saying this to me to like kill my dreams at all. Like, I grew up in a family of artists. My mom wanted me to express myself. She just didn't want me to get hurt, as any mom would want their child to be told no. That's what she was worried about. She wanted me to be a little older before I got told no so young, and my dreams got crushed so young. I didn't care, me being me, and I forged my mother's signature, and I told her I had to take a test after school, and I went in and I auditioned, and Miss Lyons, shout out to you, Miss Lyons. I remember everybody's name. I don't know how. Miss Lyons sat in front of me, 4th grade Heaven, and was like, you're really good. Like, do you know how good you are? And I was like, no, because I had no idea. I didn't know if I could sing or not. She was like, I mean, you're in. Like, you got it. And I was like, cool. So I got in the car with my mom, and I sat my book back down, and she was like, how was it? How'd you take your test? And I was like, oh, I didn't have to take a test, but I got in the talent show. She was like, okay, because my mom's a pretty laid back person. I don't think she knew that she had to sign a piece of paper saying I could. But yeah, so that was the first thing. I did the talent show. It was wonderful. I sang Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. There has to be a video somewhere. It's not on YouTube. I'm sure someone has that video. I can like upload it if anybody would like to see that. Just comment below if you'd like to see 4th grade Heavyn singing Unwritten. The next year was 5th grade, and I sang again, and I did Cinderella by the Cheetah Girl. And then I moved to middle school. Middle school was really hard for me musically. As any middle schooler, you don't know who you are. If you're in middle school watching this, no one knows what they're doing or who they are or why everybody's so mean. I still couldn't answer that for you. But in 6th grade, I joined choir. Choir was really eye-opening. I got to be around a lot of other people who loved music, and I got to learn scales and how to read music, and I really enjoyed choir. At the end of 6th grade, we had a really big show where everybody auditioned for a part of singing Don't Stop Believing, with the choir behind you singing the Glee part, but it was a solo for the whole song. I went up against Jordan. There's that girl again. She was in 8th grade and I was in 6th grade. I thoroughly, genuinely thought, because of like seniority, that she was an 8th grader, so she would get that part. But she didn't, and I got it. And that was probably the pivotal moment that I knew I had an actual talent and an actual drive to do this and be a musician. So I got that solo. That's actually, I can link that below. That's actually on YouTube. I don't know if I want to though, because nobody make any comment about how chubby I was. How about that? I'll link it the first comment that says, "Oh, you were kind of chubby." I'm deleting the video link. I look completely different. Like, I look nothing like myself. In 7th grade, I was in choir. I stayed in choir all through middle and high school. I started noticing a pattern of when there were concert solos, if I was auditioning, other people weren't. And then I started hearing people talking and, you know, under their breath being like, well, if Heavyn's auditioning for that, then I'm not auditioning. And I guess for some people that would make them be like, oh, like, I'm the best and no one else wants to audition because I'm auditioning. But for me, I'm very empathetic, and that really bothered me that people didn't even want to try because I was trying. And I was trying just as hard as they were. It wasn't like just easy for me. I hope people know that my music has not just been easy. I have to practice and practice and practice and get it perfect. I don't just like go up and wing it. I can, but it's not as good. And I'm very, very, very critical about myself, and I have been for a very, very long time. And so that hurt. And I know they didn't mean to hurt me at all. I don't hold that over anybody's head. It hurt me to think that I hurt other people. Like, I made other people feel like they weren't as good as me, as good as I was, and I never wanted anybody to feel that way. So I stopped auditioning, and my teacher pulled me aside. I'm in 8th grade, and she was like, you know, why aren't you auditioning? I told her why, and she was like, do you like music? And I was like, yeah. Do you love music? Is that what you want to do? And I was like, yes, ma'am. And she was like, then don't let anybody else make you feel bad for having talent. Sounds really bratty now that when I say it out loud, but she didn't mean it in like, she would have said it to anyone else. Anyone who was feeling the same way I was feeling, she would have said that too. She was a great teacher. I forget her name. Surprisingly forget her name. She was also kind of mean. That's probably why I forgot her name. Then I moved on to 9th grade. I started doing theater, started getting into that. That was fun. I moved to Florida in sophomore year. So at this point, freshman and senior year, I'm still singing, but it's mostly for like Instagram. So I'm like making videos on Instagram. And then junior year rolls around. So the first thing that happened was we were taking finals, and I was in theater. No one was taking exams because there was like, we had already done it, and it, you know, went by really fast, and we had like a full day of like 3 hours to do nothing. So I was like, can I go to the bathroom? And my teacher was like, yeah. And the acoustics in the school bathroom, if you don't know this, the acoustics in the school bathroom are bomb. They are so bomb. So I was like, I'm gonna sing a song. I chose to sing I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. This is a video that everybody knows me from. Here's the story to that. I was sitting on the floor. Hannah Richardson was sitting on the other side of me, and she just started recording. I didn't know she was recording. At one point I do look over and you can tell I know she's recording. So I posted that video to my Instagram and my Twitter. And for a whole month or two, nothing. I didn't hear anything about it. I honestly forgot about this video. About a month or two after making the video, I'm sitting in class and my phone is going freaking crazy. I like pull my phone out and it's just like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, text messages like, is this you? Hey, is this you? Heaven, I think this is you. Oh my God, I know this person. It's me, you know, like people are tagging me and I'm like, what? And so I click on the Twitter link and World Star Hip Hop posted my video. And I'm sitting in the bathroom stall at school. So much happened at the bathroom in high school. Okay, that came out wrong. That was weird. I'm gonna take that out. I'm sitting in the bathroom stall staring at my phone and I'm like, this is crazy. This is not happening. And I would refresh it and then soon enough, it has 2 million views. And I don't have credit on this video, by the way. So World Star posted my video and didn't post who I was. I'd probably be on Ellen right now if World Star would have just put my act, but they didn't. It's okay. I forgive you. Thanks for posting it anyway. Actually still going viral now. I still get tagged in my video and it's been about 3 years. So that's like a really cool thing that happened to me with singing. I wasn't expecting it. It was out of the blue, out of nowhere. It was awesome. So if you found me that way, that's how I found out and I was super excited. It was awesome. And then that same year, I got my first lead in a musical. I was Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. That was also beautiful. I thoroughly enjoyed doing that so much. I loved it. Junior year was like the best year of high school for me. I was still dating my boyfriend of 4 years at that point. My video went viral. My boyfriend of 4 years broke up with me. Dummy. I'm just joking. I'm kidding. He's a great person. Then senior year rolls around. I actually met my current boyfriend right now, Colin, my senior year of high school. I'd always been the girl that sings, but now had been the I will always love you girl. I'm not gonna get into my senior year of high school because my senior year of high school was the worst year of, I can't say it's the worst year of my life yet. It was one of the worst years of my life. So I'm not gonna get into that because that's sad. Shout out to the people who were my friend and have remained my friends since that dark, terrible time. After senior year, I moved to Clearwater, Florida, where I actually started gigging. So I actually started getting into like a new field of my music and I got like the equipment for playing music live at restaurants, which is amazing. I've started making money off of my music. That year taught me more than I ever learned in high school, ever. So the first year out of high school, I was just all about my music, not really social media wise, as you can tell. I really wasn't on my YouTube. I was on my Instagram a lot, but I was a live musician and I needed that and I thoroughly enjoyed it and I still do it now. So it's been 2 years since then and I have a gig next week. It taught me so much. I met so many wonderful people who play live and gave me advice, like Danielle Moore and Taylor Reed. Mitchell, I can't remember Mitchell's last name right now, but I met some of the most amazing musicians and I'm so grateful for them. I also made a lot of friends who are musicians. That year was wonderful. Next year I turned 19 and I met a guy. And I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to give him clout, 1, and 2, I hate him. So I don't really hate very many people, but I do hate this man, if you can call him that. And things were just downhill from the start and we ended up dating on and off for a year and it was a very in the beginning it was a mentally abusive relationship and by the end it got very physical to the point where I had to leave Florida. For my own sake, for my own safety, for my own sanity. I had to leave all my friends and my mom, who is my best friend, and it killed me because this man, he made me lose who I was. He wouldn't let me play music by myself. I always had to play with him because he was also a musician. I wasn't writing. I just wasn't doing anything and I felt like I was stuck. I've never felt so alone. And I didn't even have my music with me. I mean, I had it, but I was choosing not to do it. I was choosing a man over my dream, and this man wasn't even kind. That was actually this past year, 2018 in the beginning, and then I moved back to Georgia, where I reconnected with Colin. Remember him from senior year of high school? He's one of the people who remained my friend all through senior year and the 2 years after I graduated, and I was in Florida, and we reconnected and started hanging out as friends, and we have been dating for 7 months now. Shout out to him. He's my #1. I love him so much. I mean, music and all, but he is so sweet. He is the most amazing person I could have ever met. Music wise, now I had that like bump in the road. Now my focus is like A1, back to it. I'm actually on like doing YouTube videos again. I made a goal for myself. I keep making this goal and I keep pushing the deadline. My album will be finished by July 14th, my 21st birthday of 2019. So yeah, that's where I am now. Making weekly videos, trying to do weekly. I hope you guys enjoyed this like get to know me, and thank you so much, so much for watching and sharing and liking my videos. I love you all so much. If you want to see more, or you want to know more, or I feel like I told you my whole life. I did, from the time I was 9 to now, so there's like 20 years. It's not actually, I'm not 29. I'm not a mather. But yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and catch you on the rebound, clowns.